Hi, I'm Mike, and welcome back to We Die Like Men. Today's video is one that I've actually filmed like 3 times and didn't like how it come out. So we're gonna do it for like a fourth time now, or whatever it is. Today's all on my everyday carry, EDC stuff. I've done some videos on things that I carry. This one's gonna go more into firearms and stuff too. So like I've said before, this channel covers a wide topic of things. Not everything may be for every person, but some people will like it, I hope. I'm going to start off with kind of just the basic things that I carry every day, not every bit of it's firearms. Um, in my gear review and things like that, I went over certain things. My phone, I carry, what is this thing? A Samsung, I don't know, S21, I guess. That's what it's saying on the back of the case. I've had it for like 5 years. I'm not one that buys a new phone very often. It works, I keep it. Um, these videos were pretty popular a while ago, but I've been asked by others to do one, so I'm going to do it. I carry a pocket knife. If you've watched my gear video, you've seen it. This is a Kershaw Speed Safe, I believe is the name of this one. Yeah, I think that's the name of it. And I've had this thing going on 20 years. Great little knife, works well. I carry it all the time. Needs to be cleaned and sharpened. Flashlight. I am a firm believer in a handheld flashlight. Sorry if I just blinded everybody there. This one is rechargeable, USB recharging. One beside my bed, one in the truck, a cable to plug it in and charge it. Keeps the charge pretty well, but I do use my flashlight a lot. Obviously, I carry a knife because I'm always cutting a box open or things around the yard or around the house. I got to cut a packaging open or something. And it's just handy things to have. Um, those are my primary things that I carry every day. Now, my firearm will change a little bit. I have a few, let's put it that way. The one I carry pretty much so every day. Every firearm here is unloaded. It has been checked and verified. I have been handling firearms for about 45 years now. I started at about 5 years old, going to the range shooting. My father was a safety instructor for the state of Maine for hunter safety and firearms. I have instructed people on safety and marksmanship. I worked at a range. Um, going all the way back through. We've all been former military of some sort. We've all had training. I've been through other specific firearms training courses, including handgun safety and stuff like that through the state of Maine. So, YouTube, I am a quote unquote professional. I don't get paid for it, but I'm a well trained individual with years of experience. My primary carry is a SIG P365XL. This firearm is clear, no magazine in it. I have carried many handguns throughout the years. I've carried Glocks, I've carried Tauruses, I've carried H&Ks, I've carried Kimbers, I've carried, God, I can't even think of all of them now that I have carried. This one right here has become the one that I'm the happiest with. It's a small size. It is a bit dirty. There is a fair amount of wear on this firearm because I've carried this now. It's got to be 6 years, I think, that I've carried this one, right around there. I did change the red dot. It came with their SIG Romeo Zero. It's an all right red dot. It's small. It's very light. It weighs like 3 ounces. The problem with it is the battery would go dead on me about every 3 months. They are a shake awake, they call it. So if it's sitting somewhere and not being touched after a certain amount of time, it shuts off. Soon as it moves, it turns on. Well, when it's on your hip and you're walking around, it's always on. In order to change the battery in that, you had to remove this. Undo 2 screws, remove it. Not a big deal. Put the new battery in. But when you put it on and tighten it down, it's not always zeroed. It's not always accurate anymore. Going to hit where you want it to. That's fine if you remember to do it when you're at a shooting range or something like that, let's say every couple of months. Unfortunately for me, especially in the winter, I don't always get a chance to get to the range as often as I want. So I was like, I really wanted something different and I wanted something metal. This is a nice aluminum. So this is a Defender CCW by Vortex. To change the battery, it's here. I don't have to remove it. It's a little bit larger. As I'm approaching 50 this month here in August, my eyes want something a little bit bigger, something I can pick up on. Battery life is good. I kind of have a reminder on my phone about every 3 months. Hey, dummy, replace the battery. You replace it. It comes with a tool, but you can do a Phillips head screwdriver. A straight head screwdriver will screw that out, put a new battery in, put it in. It holds zero well. It's got serrations on the front. If you were ever in a situation where one-handed you had to charge it, you could. The firearm itself, it shoots very well. It's got a little bit of nose flip. It's not too bad. Very controllable. 12 plus one. Well, 12 round magazines. I cannot top this handgun off with plus one. For anyone who doesn't know, it's one in the chamber, then a full mag inserted in. With a 12 round magazine, you really have to cram, push hard to get it to go in and lock, and that can induce a malfunction. It puts a lot of strain on the slide underneath of it, so it makes it harder for the slide to go back. If the round you're firing is a little weak, it may not come back all the way. You can damage that top round, put a dimple in it, and maybe it doesn't load right or extract right. You can wear the spring on your magazine out some. There are things that can cause that. So for one extra round, it doesn't make sense to me. I have 12. I think that's more than enough. I do carry a spare magazine just in case I ever, God forbid, need it, or if something fails on that one, I've got another one I can insert. These run, price is all over the place. It's been years. These are in the $600 range, thereabouts. Maybe mid fives to high sixes, depending on exactly which model. There are several models of the P365. There's a smaller version with 10 rounds. There's a P365X, which has the full-size grip and the shorter barrel. There's the XL. There's, I think, the Sig Legion in that. There is a whole bunch. Maybe the Legion is different. There's a whole bunch of them that fall into these categories, and the price varies. So I won't get into price too much. But I paid, I think, low fives back when I bought it. It was on sale too, so been very happy. It's light. Carrying it is not uncomfortable. I am the only one in the room right now, so I'm not flagging anybody, and the firearm is unloaded. Holster, I like the crossbreed. This is the Mini Tuck. I believe it's the Mini Tuck 2. It doesn't say it. It may have. It's pretty worn off at the back. It's leather here. It's a Kydex plastic with spring metal clips. Very, very comfortable, to the point you really don't even feel it. You're wearing it, but not uncomfortable by any stretch of the imagination. These are not cheap. And I will say one thing about holsters. Don't cheap out. A holster needs to retain the firearm safely and securely. When even as old as this one is, flap out of my way. There, look what I'm doing. It holds it pretty well. This is starting to loosen up some. There isn't an adjustment on it, but this thing has been in and out of this holster thousands of times because every night it comes out, gets put on my nightstand, and every morning it's put back in. You can heat them up a little bit with like a heat gun. You got to be careful, hair dryer, and maybe form it a little bit. The thing is when I'm wearing it, my back is pushing in on my side is pushing in on the back of it. Once that's done, it doesn't want to slide out. It's a nice tight grip. Just sitting like this, the leather flexes, and that's really the biggest problem because this hasn't spread or anything. So it's really more that when it's on, it's a good fit. It needs to be comfortable. It needs to cover your trigger on a firearm like mine that doesn't have a regular thumb safety. Even if it does, I like something that covers my trigger completely. But it just needs to work. I don't skimp on my firearm that I'm going to risk my life on or depend on it for my life or the life of others. And I'm not with my holster either. Ammunition, I'm pretty basic, but I don't skimp. I've done my own testing. I have seen testing. I have read the FBI reports. I have gone through all kinds of stuff. I carry a 115 grain jacketed hollow point. This is Remington green and white box personal defense ammo. This is nothing fancy. My firearm shoots it well, holds a good group. It just works. I've had no real issues. I don't care what you buy for ammo. I have bought ammo that costs $70 for a box, and I've had a misfire. I've bought ammo that costs $10 a box and had a misfire. It can happen. That's why you practice those kind of drills. What happens if my gun goes click, no bang? What do? You learn to deal with it. The other reason I carry that ammo is their target ammo, which is a 115 grain full metal jacket round nose, a lot cheaper. The target ammo and my carry ammo hit in the same spot, close enough that there's not enough difference to make any real. It's not an issue to me. Maybe a quarter of an inch center of group different. Not worried about that. So I can target shoot with that. Then I'll shoot some of my defensive carry because I like to use it up. I'll keep defensive carry ammo. Well, 6 months, a year, maybe at most. Usually it gets shot up fast enough that I'm changing it out of my mags every 4 months, something like that. 9mm works. Its recoil is manageable by most people. I get enough capacity and not excessive weight. I know a lot of people will talk about, well, the SIGs, they've had problems with them just going off. I want to preface that by saying I'm not 100% sure those guns are just going off 100% on their own, but I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on that. I think there's something else going on there, but I could be wrong. However, that is the SIG P320, also the M17 and M18, which are the P320 versions for the military. The P17 is the full size. The M17 is the full size. The M18 is a little smaller version. Those have a different trigger and fire control group. The P365 does not have that issue that I've ever heard of, nor have the other Sigmals. It's kind of been that one. And again, I don't know exactly what's going on. I'm not going to go deep into it. So, having talked to some gunsmiths, I know they question whether the guns are truly going off 100% on their own because they have not been able to recreate that. There was an old gunsmith. He's no longer around. I don't know if he's still alive. I think he might have passed fairly recently. But anyways, another side story. This one's been great. I absolutely love it. This isn't a recommendation. You got to find what works for you. I'm showing you what I carry. My other option that I carry is a revolver. I have a video talking about why there's times I prefer a revolver over an autoloader. If you want to see why there's times for that, go watch that video. I also have a video out showing different types of revolvers that I own and why I prefer one over the other for certain things. Again, this is unloaded. This is a Taurus Tracker 627. It is a 7-shot 357 Magnum. This one I will carry when I'm out in the woods. I want something a little more punch, a little bit more stop power. 357 Magnum has considerably more than 9mm. In case I encounter a bear or a moose that decides that I shouldn't be there and wants to do me harm. If I can't turn and walk away from it, which would be my first choice, in any situation, regardless of what I'm carrying or what the situation is, my first preference is to just go away. But that's not always something you can do. Sometimes you've got to take action. Okay, you can't just let innocent people or your loved ones or yourself be victimized like that. Not looking for trouble, but hoping to avoid it. This particular handgun right here, I haven't had very long, few months. This was kind of a early birthday present, 50th birthday present to me. Kind of from the wife, as far as she said, yes, go ahead. I'd like you to have that. I went and did the paperwork, so it's all done in my name and I paid for it, but it comes out of the same account, whether she bought it or I did. 4-inch barrel on this, double action, single action. You can just pull the trigger and fire. Shoots great, adjustable sights, ported barrel, very, very little muzzle flip. With 38 specials, this thing has virtually no recoil. I do go into that more in my other videos. great grip. So this one I do carry from time to time. It's not a conceal like that. You're not going to stick this inside your waist belt like the other one and have it deep conceal, especially with a holster like this. This is a reasonably cheap one from Amazon. I say that it was $55 or $65. I don't even know the brand on it. But I struggled to find one that was under 100, so that was decent. I wanted a leather holster for this one. So I like it. I want a different holster. I want something a little better than this. This one works. I'm not gonna, you know, slam them for it. This one is adjustable for the tension on the, around the trigger guard some to give you a little more wiggle room, because every manufacturer's dimensions are a little bit different. Here on the trigger guard can be thicker or wider. This being a 7-shot, the cylinder is wider. Sorry. Always somebody calling me trying to sell me something. I do carry speed loaders for it. These are, like I said, this is a 7-shot, so I had to hunt down 7-shot speed loaders. This is a very simple, basic aluminum. You twist the bottom, the rounds are free. Obviously, it'd be upside down into the gun. I'm not going to do that now because I don't want to spill them everywhere. They do make push-style ones, or just ones that you push it in and the rounds release. That would be quicker. These are by 5-Star Firearms. I found them online. I ordered them. I think I did order these through Amazon, but the last time I looked, they didn't have it anymore. But 5-Star Firearms has their own, web page. You can go right there. I want to say these were around $38 a piece. I don't remember off the top of my head. They seem to be well built. Standing there in a gravel sand pit, shooting and drop it in, turn it, reload it, and just kick it off the side, close, and trying to maintain eye contact on my target, just doing some practice. These have bounced off the rocks and the gravel. They're not scratched up. They've held up well. So far, I like them. They're light. I mean, 7 rounds of 357 Magnum, there's some weight to them, but when they're empty, they're nice and light. I bought a really cheap nylon belt holder for it. I don't like it. I got it on Amazon. It was like $10. I want to get a leather one. I've got to find a good leather one that will fit those, or have somebody make one for me, I guess. That's pretty much so it that I carry. I have other handguns. I have a Kimber Ultra Carry 2. It's a compact 1911 and 45 ACP that I carried for many, many years. I still have that. I carried an H&K VP9 SK, which was a compact 9mm, 10 round. It was much bigger than the SIG. It was bulkier. If you're familiar with firearms, it was roughly the size of a Glock 19, but only held 10 rounds in a flush mount magazine. I liked it. I shot it very well, but it was heavy. It was bulky. My biggest reason to go into the SIG was so much smaller. That was the biggest thing. Concealed carrying it. Yes, depending on what I wear for a shirt, you can tell there's something under my shirt. I just filmed a video doing my EDC for my truck, which will be up soon, probably next week. You can see it printing through my shirt. Some of these kind of shirts stick to you when it's hot and sweaty, so it shows more. Wintertime, when I have a sweatshirt or a jacket on, you'd never know. And that's when I could conceal carry this. Here in Maine, I had a concealed carry permit. I went through the class and went through the background and all that. And then Maine did away with the permit, where, as it should be, a constitutional carry state. I still physically have the license, but I never renewed it. So, other than that, that's pretty much so it. If you have questions, if you want to know more about the individual firearms or why I choose certain things, feel free to ask. I will gladly discuss that and do a video. Handheld flashlight, to me, I have a weapon mount flashlight for my SIG. Now I got to find a holster that fits it and things like that. And I haven't been happy with the ones I found that will fit it unless I want to go and have like one like this custom made with a custom make the Kydex so it'll fit that. They get very expensive. Even if I had a flashlight on my firearm, I want a handheld. There's times when I just need to see something. Oh, did I drop something under the seat of the truck or whatever? I need a flashlight. But even when you're talking with firearms related, if you're gonna go check, you hear a noise and you want to go check it out. I don't want to be going around with my having to point my firearm at somebody to use a flashlight. What if it's just one of my kids coming home late or whatever like that? It's just not something I want to be pointing my firearm at. It's just some person walking through my yard, and I'm not just going to pull a gun on them. I may say, "Hey, please don't walk through my yard," but you know, I just want a handheld. I just want to be able to be like, "Okay, that's what that is." Now, having both is great. If I can only have one or the other, it's going to be a handheld. That's just how I prefer to do it. You have to go through your own thought process and come up with that. But I strongly suggest a good handheld flashlight. And I like a rechargeable. Here is one I have that is not. I have a lot of these. I don't know. This is the Fenix, Fenix. This is the LD12. I have like 5 different ones of these. Most of these take the CR123 batteries. That's one reason I went to that. I discussed that in my gear review videos. But I also keep one right here. Sometimes I'm trying to look, at plugs and stuff like that, or things. Or if I'm sitting here and the power goes out, if I'm not wearing my regular shorts, like right now I just have basketball shorts on, and this isn't right with me, I got a flashlight. So, but that's it. So if you have any questions, comments, let me know. And this video, what is today? 8/6. I know I've been still lax on videos. It's summertime. They will pick up more as we get into other seasons. October, November, there will probably be a lot more of them. Spam calls. I hate them. Because there'll be outdoor videos when I'm up in the mountains. And like I said, next week's is a gear review on my truck. So what I carry in my truck. So until next time, try to behave. At least do your best. Bye.